What's going on, guys? This is Matt Horner here with Sports Mockery, coming to you from the Wager Sphere to give you some information on this weekend's college football card. It is week 15 now in college football. I know it's hard to believe, right? I mean, it seems like just a couple weeks ago, God, it's flown by, right? And we take advantage of this stuff, honestly, like with everything that's going on right now. College football wasn't guaranteed, and neither is college basketball, neither is the NFL. None of this stuff was guaranteed because everything's getting shut down. I know myself here in Pennsylvania, we just had an order come down today from the governor where this weekend all of our restaurants are closing again. So, you know, we have when this stuff is available to us, consume it, take it, because we don't know when stuff like this is going to happen, if it's going to get shut down, things are going to get canceled, all of that type of nature. But we are in week 15 of college football currently. And so far, the top four teams right now, looking at the college football playoff, you got number one, Alabama, right? Number two, Notre Dame. Number three, Clemson. Number four, Ohio State. Now, Ohio State just this past week was given basically their key into the college football playoff because the Big Ten decided that, well, we made a rule that says you have to play 6 games to be able to play in the Big Ten title game. But then Ohio State wasn't going to get to 6 games, and they said, yeah, we're going to have to get rid of that rule. So they literally just gave Ohio State a freebie. So Ohio State is going to get their chance to play in the Big Ten title game, and with that, most likely play in the college football playoff. So lucky Ohio State, good for them. This weekend, it's a very small card. Honestly, there was a bunch of games that were canceled because of COVID infestations within certain programs. Cincinnati and Tulsa was canceled, which, well, it wasn't canceled. It was technically postponed. Well, I guess you could say it was canceled because they're playing in the title game for their conference, the Atlantic uh, Athletic Conference. They're playing there on December 19th, and those two teams will get to see them play again. But unfortunately, it was canceled this weekend, so we don't get to enjoy that. But we have only two matchups in the AP Top 25 this weekend, where two ranked teams play each other. So unfortunately, we're not going to have a ton of excitement this weekend, but we're going to go through them. We're going to go through those two games in depth and get all of you set to bet on the big time games this weekend in college football. So, first thing though, I want to do before I get into my predictions, before we start discussing these games in depth, is tell all of you once again about DraftKings. So, DraftKings, you guys are probably getting tired of hearing this, but you need to take advantage of it. Like, go in there, link in the description box below. Go in there, sign up, create a new account. Doesn't matter if you're new here, doesn't matter if you're a long time gambler. Who cares? Go in there. If you don't have an account, sign up for DraftKings. Up to $1,000 deposit bonus, right? So you go in there. If you're a novice bettor, if you don't bet very often, $5 minimum. You put $5 in, you get 20% back of what you deposit. So you get a free buck, right? If you're a novice bettor, you never do this, put $5 in, get a free buck. You have $6 to bet on these games. Say you put $3 down on the first game and $3 down on the second game. There you go, right? So why not take advantage of it? So you got that. And then if you are a hardcore bettor, if you love this, right? If you're into gambling and you're watching this video right now and you don't have a DraftKings account, number one, there's probably a problem. That doesn't make much sense. But for some reason, if you do not have a DraftKings account, go there, sign up, and if you're a hardcore gambler, $5,000 in your account will get you a $3,000 insight bonus. So if you're going to gamble, it's a free grant. So why not take that, right? So it's $3,000 up to $1,000 deposit bonus. You get 20% back of whatever you deposit, minimum of $5. So take advantage of that, guys. I keep telling you, free money every single week, every single day from DraftKings. Take advantage. So we are going to get into the two games that we are going to discuss here for this weekend in college football. Number one, you've got number 19 Iowa, and you got number 25 Wisconsin facing off in a Big Ten battle between two teams that decidedly are more defensive. Like these two teams, you've got Wisconsin, who has scored 13 points in their last two games combined. Uh, Ever since that week one demolition of Illinois, Wisconsin offensively has been just brutal. I mean, they have been disastrous on the offensive side. After the first week of the season, they took on Illinois. Everybody was just like, oh my God, Metz, he's like the quarterback of the future. He's amazing. He's doesn't throw an incompletion. Well, it was one game, right? And it was one game against Illinois, and we all know Illinois, not the best team in the world. So that was taken, way out of proportion with Wisconsin. Their defense is actually really good. I'll give them credit there. It's a big reason why I think this game can remain close. So the Hawkeyes last week played Illinois, actually. And in that game, they really stunk up the first half, but then the second half, they were absolutely dominant against Illinois, especially defensively. And they came back and won that game. They won 5 straight games. They're 5-2 on the season. Wisconsin is 2-2. And in this game, you've got Wisconsin favored by 2 against Iowa, who is +2, which I don't think really makes much of any sense. Like, what has Wisconsin done offensively that makes you say, oh, well, we should put them favored in this game, even though they're ranked even lower, and they have just as many losses as Iowa does and 3 less wins? I don't understand why Wisconsin is a favorite at Iowa. Doesn't make any sense to me, so I will be taking Iowa +2. I think Iowa wins this game outright. I think Wisconsin's defense will keep it close, but at the same time, I envision this game being more of like a 24-21, type of contest, something like that. So I would take Iowa +2 in this game. The total is 41.5. That is extremely low for a game in college football in general. So I would take the over. I think, 24-20 sounds like a reasonable score. So like 45, 46, 40, something like that in that range, like mid upper 40s is probably what we're looking at. So I would take the over. And that's a lower scoring game in college football, honestly. So I would take the over 41.5, and I would take Iowa +2. I think they win the game outright if you want to look at the money line for the Hawkeyes. The second game is you've got Miami and North Carolina in a huge ACC battle here that's really going to, it's going to be a massive game. And we're going to have 2 high-flying offenses that are going to put up, boatloads of points in this game in all likelihood. So you've got Miami, whose defense at times this year has looked pretty good. Last week they shut Duke out 48-0, but once again, that's Duke, right? Like Duke is Duke. They're good at basketball. Well, honestly, they're questionably good at basketball this year. They're never good really at football, right? So you beat them 48-0. That's great. Miami, wonderful. They've had 2 shootouts. Louisville, that was a shootout win. And you got NC State. It was like 44-41 shootout win. So Miami's defense can be had. And if North Carolina's offense actually gets something going and they play up to their capability like they did against Wake Forest, where Sam Howell was just absolutely, his arm was just like the Human Torch, 6 touchdowns and 550 yards. If he can even get close to that level, like I'm talking, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, something like that. I really do believe that North Carolina can win this game. They have serious upset potential here. So you got North Carolina +3.5, and you've got Miami -3.5. I'd take the 3.5 with North Carolina. Especially in a high scoring game like this, I will take the points for sure. I will take the field goal for sure. And I think the Tar Heels win outright. I do. I really think Sam Howell just goes off on this Miami defense. I don't really think it's that good. I think it's slightly overrated. And I'm going to take the Tar Heels to win outright here. I would go over the total, which is insane because the total is 67.5, which, is kind of more like college football that we had 41.5 with Iowa and Wisconsin. But in this case, I would go over that 67.5. I think this game's going to be like, played in the upper 30s, like 38, 35, something insane like that, getting close to the 40 burger for both teams. So in this one, I would take North Carolina plus 3.5, and I would take the over 67.5 in this game. And I would take North Carolina money line because I truly believe that North Carolina can win this game. I think they are very live to upset number 9 Miami. So with that, those are the two games that are AP top 25 matchups this weekend. I know it's only two games. Very unfortunate. We keep getting all these cancellations. We keep getting all this stuff that keeps happening in college football. It's spreading into college basketball. It's honestly, like I said before, just take advantage of this stuff, guys. Take advantage of DraftKings offer in the description box below. And don't take anything for granted because we don't know what games are going to get canceled. We don't know how long things are going to last. I know Boston College just said, we don't want to have anything to do with a bowl game. We're done. Like they literally just said, we're done. We don't want to play in a bowl game, which is crazy. But that's the year we live in, right? 2020 is absolutely insane. So I will see all of you guys next time in the next article. We will be talking about in depth the Chicago Bears game against the Houston Texans. I will try as best as I can not to mention that Deshaun Watson, Mitch Trubisky thing. I'm sick of hearing it. You're sick of hearing it. We're all sick of hearing it. It'll probably have to come up because it's newsworthy, but I will try my best to not put that on you guys or myself because I'm a Bears fan and it's sickening. So I will see you guys in that article next, and I will see you in my next video here in Sports Mockery in the Wager Sphere. Have a good night, guys.